Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people and my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, where today we are covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from February the 15th, 1992. If you're listening on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button as well. It is greatly appreciated as we continue to grow our rather small but growing YouTube channel. And yes, this is February the 15th and not the 8th because there was no show on the 8th. That's why. If you're wondering, hey, where'd the 8th go? It's gone. It's not there. And before I throw it to Harper and ask how he's doing, I want to give a big time shout out to Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Mike Childry, Joe Ice, and good old Justin. Thank you for your generous support on Patreon each and every month and being the sponsors of this show. Dr. Blassie is supposed to be returning to the show soon. Maybe it's already dropped. I don't know. We're trying to get it scheduled as we speak. Harper, let me welcome you in. This is a rarity. You're quote unquote early, but maybe a little late. And Crockett is definitely late. His lights went out, and he's scrambling right now to get everything going as the lights went out. So there's that. But your lights are on, so that's all that matters. I guess.
Bro, fucking know what happened to me today?
Oh, please tell me. This ought to be gold.
I locked my keys in a fucking car this morning.
Did you call Papa Lock in the fucking 1955 Chevy show up or whatever showed up like last time?
Well, what pissed me off is I'm in my car and GM, like, it's impossible to lock your cars and your keys in the car, because even if you try to do it on purpose, it senses the keys are still in the car. So the car won't fucking lock. Because I've done it before. I would forget them. And then I would lock it and close the door. And it would beep, beep. And you hear the lock, click, click, unlock. Like say, hey, asshole, the fucking keys are still in here. This time, that didn't fucking happen, bro. And
why not?
I don't know fucking why. I don't know. It was fucked. And the thing is, my company car, the battery went out in it yesterday. So I'm in my car for next, I don't know, fucking day or so until it gets a battery put in it. So this is, I just left like the office or whatever. And there's a racetrack gas station like right down the street. I go in to get a coffee, and that's when I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Are you fucking kidding me? And my phone is in the fucking car. I got no fucking way to fucking communicate. So I say, fuck this. I go walk to the office, which is like a 2-minute walk. I'm thinking someone's going to show up here sooner or later. So I'm just sitting there with my dick in my hand for like fucking 20 minutes. I'm like, bro, I can't just sit around here. I got shit to do.
Right.
And I can't call anybody because I have no communication. So I look and there's a vacant office that just sits there that fucking no one uses, and there's a phone sitting there. It's like, I'm gonna call fucking Papa Lock. But then I'm thinking, what the fuck is their phone number? What the fuck is there? And then I'm thinking, I call Tiffany. What the fuck is her phone number? That's when I realize I'm fucked, because I don't know any fucking phone number. So this phone is fucking useless. And then there's one phone number that's been tattooed in my brain since I was a kid. It's still active. Could now you still remember your fucking old, your childhood home phone number or your grandma's phone number and shit like that?
Yeah.
Well, it's my friend Randy. His phone number from as a kid is still tattooed in my fucking brain. So I call his mama's house. And she's like, "What? Why you what the fuck you calling me for?" And I was talking to his mom. I said, "Look, you're the only phone number I remember in my fucking head. That's why I'm calling this number for the first time since fucking 1993, when Randy got a cell phone." And
so you called this house and his mom was there and she did pick up.
Well, yeah, she picked up. She's like, "What?" I was like, "This is Chris from down the street, Randy's friend." And she's like, "Oh, hey, like it. What are you doing? Calling me?" And that's when I told her, I was like, "This is the only phone number I remember in my fucking head." And thank God he just happened to be over there. Then,
so did you not know? I missed it. Did you call or hold on? Crockett's calling. Let me see if it'll let me merge it. Oh, hey Crockett, I'm glad you joined. Harper's telling a story. I got to get the end of it before I welcome you in. So I thought, did you call Tiffany or no?
No, because here's the thing is.
Oh God, here's the gold and he's gone. I don't know if you hit mute or something, but we can't hear you, Harper. He locked his keys and his phone in the car. So he's explaining how he's dead on arrival. He has no means. He has no way to look up anybody's number. He has no, and he's in the middle of telling his story where he calls his friend Randy's house from when he was a kid and his mom answers the phone. And that's where we were left off. And Harper, where are you? Please, we can't hear you. We're about to get the gold. I want to know how this ends.
His laptop got stolen now.
Oh my God. All right. Well, Crockett, how are you? Let's try. I don't know if it happened when I merged you into the call or not, but that's when I lost him.
I heard him.
I did too. And all right. Well, he just left. How are you? Let me welcome you in. We're going to get to the end of this Harper story as soon as he comes back.
I'm doing all right. We're all set to go for 9 p.m. tonight to record this thing, and my power went out like 8:15.
It happened.
So it was a whole ordeal.
Yeah,
so we're back up and running. Sorry, I'm a little late.
No, it's cool. And then you got little kids, so of course that's not easy to deal with, and
all the excitement of the lights out got them all hyped up. So
okay, so the big question: did you bring your top 5? Because you said something about top 5 last week. Let me guess, you ran out of time.
Yeah, I ran out of time. Yeah, no top 5.
So just like Doc, you're disappointing the listeners with these top 5 lists that you said you were going to do, but no, nothing.
It didn't happen this week. Next week.
Didn't material.
Wait, am I here next week?
Yeah, you are. You're here if you want to be here, you're here for several more weeks until I get the okay that the schedule is somewhat leveling out for the Docster.
How is he?
He's pulling his hair out, it's kind of what he does. He's got a head of hair though, so he's got plenty to pull out, but he is pulling his hair out.
Damn that
it's
guy.
Happening. I know. Yeah. So, hey, real quick while we're waiting on Harper, and thank you again for doing the show. I do have some 5-star reviews that I need to shout out. So, As always, if you submit a Apple Podcast or Podcast Addict 5-star review, we will read it on air. And I figured, Crockett, we haven't really been as debauchery as normal with you around, even though we made some relief jokes last week or so. And Harper's telling me call him back. Maybe I should do that before I get into the 5-star reviews, but I will get a teaser. The teaser is there is somebody who left a 5-star review, and his handle is Dog Nuts. So
all right.
let's see if we can get Harper back on, and then we'll go from there. Hey, what happened?
Bro,
You lose power?
I think this updated or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Updated in the middle of a call, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Because I'm talking to you. It's like, wait, where does the screen go?
Okay, there he goes, sounding like he's on a landline again.
Really?
Yeah, like it was when we first started talking. But we'll have to deal with it. We're not going to go through a bunch of restarts. Can you finish telling your story? You call Randy's mom.
Yeah, and so then I'm like, look, I'm fucking stranded here. You're the only phone number that I have memorized in my head because I dialed it so many times. I mean, cause I've been knowing Randy since I was like 6 or 7 years old. So
right.
I dialed his number a million times. Is that Randy home? As a kid, so that number is just branded into my fucking brain. That's the only number I remembered that's still active.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, so I had to call up my friend's mom and say, look, you're the only, I said, this is Chris from down the street, Randy's friend. And then she's like, what? Why are you calling here? I'm like, yeah, I'm stuck here, and you're the only number I know. And then Randy happened to be over there, and then he got onto Google, and he called Papa Lock, and they showed up, and the guy got the door open in like fucking 20 seconds.
Goes to show you how dependent we are upon our phones, doesn't it?
Bruh, you ain't lying, dude.
We're like lost without them.
Mm-hmm. And that's
as much as we fuss about technology as old farts, when them phones aren't on our hips, we can't look up shit, and we're like, oh shit, what happened?
Yeah, so that's what the fuck happened to me.
Oh man.
So how's Randy's mom?
Fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
How old is that woman now, man? She's gonna be in her 70s.
Yeah, she's in her 70s, somewhere around that. Yeah.
I can imagine she must have been like, Christopher?
Yes. Yeah, she's the, dude, they had a Game Boy that would sit on the, like on the end table forever. And she was probably playing a Game Boy, playing Tetris.
Oh, you said a Game Boy. I was like, what did you just say? So she was probably playing Game Boy when she answered. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how my day went.
That's nice, Harper. It sounds like you had a great day, and that's the second time. So did the Papa Lock, was it the same Papa Lock guy that showed up with
Nah. It was some dude with like long hair, kind of like a beach bum looking dude. So Randy bailed me out.
Randy bailed you out. All right. Well, let me read these 5-star reviews, and then we can get into the WCW portion of the show. So we did get one on Apple Podcast. I wish Doc was here so he could read this one, because this person's handle is Dognuts15. And he says, awesome show. Love all three of you guys. I'm in your guys' age group, so you bring back a lot of memories. Thanks for the quality entertainment. Gotta love that.
That's right.
Dognuts15. That's how Harper's audio sounds right now. Dognuts. Okay. We continue. These are the next two come from Podcast Addict. One of them is from Travel RN, and Travel RN says, the best damn mud show out there. 5 stars. I'm a travel nurse, so on the long commute to my work, I listen to the best damn 3-man booth in the universe. They give the best commentary on wrestling around and no sponsor ads. That's right. So become a patron if you're not one. Not you, Travel RN, but everybody else. Become a patron. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. They give the best commentary on wrestling around, no sponsor ads. Yeah, these boys don't have to go to Hawaii to hang 10. They'll just stand there and look at you. Thanks for the entertainment while I drive to work to the shoot job. And then one more from R. Coleman 6586. He says, are these guys my best friends? I don't mind having best friends I never met because I don't like being around people. I feel you on that one, unless it's a Wildcat X-rated show. But listening to these episodes and the Patreon ones feel like listening to guys I went to school with talking wrestling. Doc, Harper, and the other guy. Just kidding, Mark. That's what he called me. Know their stuff and veer off now and again to really keep it entertaining. Book it, bitch. Thank you, R. Coleman 6586. I appreciate the fact that you're a patron and you support this show, and thank you for the 5-star reviews. And as always, you want your 5-star review read on air, all you got to do is submit it on Podcast Addict or Apple Podcasts, and we'll eventually get to it once it shows up. Here, sometimes they don't show up for whatever reason. I don't know why. It seems like an Apple thing when it doesn't show up, but when they show up, we read them, and that's that. Real quick, couple other shout-outs. Shout-out to Keith M. for bumping up to the Hall of Fame Patreon tier. Luke J. for bumping up to the Hall of Fame Patreon tier. And last but not least, thanks to Ted for bumping up to the annual tier as a big-time Hall of Fame Patreon tier member as well. And thanks again. If you want to get a shout out and become a patron, tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT. Great way to not only support the show, but you get tons of extra content, including within the last week and a half, I released 4 episodes that Doc and I did on a Friday night right before his schedule went just truly ridiculous, where he couldn't make the show weekly for some time. Crockett, I need to send you a copy of that ECW show where Doc is drunk off his ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to hear that. And then it sounds like now it might be a swan song, so I'm gonna need to hear that.
No swan song, but man, he I think I said this last week on the show. I was like, I'm not releasing this episode. We're too drunk.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, I can't release this. We were just, Harper, when you've had a lot to drink, I mean, we're pretty bad as usual on this show, right? But when you've had a lot to drink, you're just making all kind of mistakes and factual inaccuracies, and you're just talking out of your ass. And then I started pissing off Doc because I started talking bad about Emmett Smith, and then I really worked him into a shoot because the ECW match, one of the ones we were reviewing, I kept telling him it was a load of shit and it was a dumb match and it was stupid and it made no sense. And he was just drunk and he's like, I fucking hate you. He was just slurring his words. So anyway, I wasn't going to release it and I told Crockett that. But then I listened back to it and I actually wasn't too bad. Doc was slurring the shit out of his words. So I said, oh yeah, we're going to put it out there. So
yeah, I didn't look horrible, so we can release it.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not that bad. Even though I did get feedback, people were like, your Mount Rushmore of ECW sucks. I was like, I don't even know what I said.
That's nice.
Yeah, you know how it is, man. You do these shows and you really don't remember what you talk about. I know that sounds crazy, but it's kind of true. You just don't remember. I'll send that to you, Crockett. I was supposed to send it to you last week, I think, and I didn't, though.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the video version or just the audio version?
Well, I mean, video version, not going to see Doc, so what's the point?
Oh.
But you can see what we're talking about, though.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure. Send the video version.
He's an ugly dude, bro. Trust me, you don't really want to see him. I'm just saying, man. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but yeah, he's kind of ugly. All right, Crockett. Let's get into this week's episode of Saturday Night on TBS. Once again, February 15th of 1992. This show. The previous week, there is no February 8th show, so that's why we jumped straight to the 15th, and we're just a couple of weeks away now from the pay-per-view, which I think Crockett is going to end up doing the pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure he's going to end up doing it with us, 99.9% sure. So it'll be Crockett and I, and Harper, we're going to do it like on a Wednesday, so the day after we record 2 weeks from now, we'll do the pay-per-view. And the reason I'm mentioning it, I think I don't know. Sting wins the world title, so I'll leave it up to you if you want to be there. It's not a bad pay-per-view. It's pretty good. But anyway. That's Sting. What about Sting?
I don't
know. Oh, okay. Well, speaking of Sting, oh, God. I hear about it all day long, too. Bruh, you never tell the truth about Sting. You make it seem like it's just me, but you hate him, too. I'm like, I don't hate the man. And he's like, nah, you don't tell the truth. You bullshit the people. Doc, I don't hate Sting. I just think he's for the kids. You say that on the show. Stop lying. Okay. He likes to just get mad at me.
Last I heard, Doc was giving him the Toot Toot Award.
No.
Every now and then he'll do that to just be different, I think. I don't know.
Keep people on the toes.
Keep people on their toes. That's right. Well, look at Arn Anderson right here. I mean, how old does Arn Anderson look? As always,
blue blockers there.
Yeah. How old does he look? Seriously.
Oh, mid-40s, like our age.
Mid-40s, yeah.
He looks a lot older than what he actually is. That was the point I was trying to make. So this week's show from February 15th, 1992, was taped on February the 12th of 92 at Center Stage. Remember that date later. The notes in the history of WWE.com state that Blimpie's, the sandwich shop, provided free meals to the fans during this taping.
Thank God.
Have you ever had a Blimpie sandwich, Harper? I've never had one.
No.
All right.
I think I've seen it.
I have too, but I've never had one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made it up here at some point, but I don't think I ever actually had one.
They're in like truck stops and shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Gas stations and shit.
Yeah.
Like I've had obviously Subway because that's all they had in New Orleans at a time, and in Texas in the last few years, not the Jimmy John's place, the Jersey Mike's. They have that here now, and
yeah, we got Jersey Mike's and Worcester, Quiznos, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jersey Mike's is pretty good actually. It's expensive, but I don't know. To me, it's better than I've never had Blimpies, but it's better than Subway.
And at Firehouse Subs.
Yeah. There's one of those around here too.
Yeah.
Well, at Center Stage this day, they gave everybody free Blimpies.
Good for
there
them.
You go. Good for them. And coming out on Center Stage, the show opens up. Wyndham cuts a promo that's kind of cut off, and then Arn and Larry Zbyszko say something building up the main event because they're going to take on Steamboat and Wyndham. And then we go to Center Stage where JR says a few words, and he welcomes out the Stinger, Doc's favorite pro wrestler. Let's hear what Sting's got to say, because I always play Sting promos, especially when he howls at the end. Here it is.
2 weeks away. 2 weeks away, Rossi. I said this once before. It seems the only best way to say it, so I'll say it again, and that is, Luger, you can be Mr. Business about it. I, on the other hand, be a little bit more emotional about the whole deal. And speaking about business, wrestling is my business, and business is pretty damn good. Rossi, I'll talk to you. All right, the Stinger is ready for a Super Brawl. Fans, we'll see that special feature in the hour.
I always got to play when he howls, Crockett. It just does something for me. Oh God, Z-Man's about to put me to sleep. But,
speaking of doing something for you, yeah, there's Z-Man.
Yeah, speaking of doing something for me. Anyway, Stinger with the Stingers, howl. He's talking, wrestling is my business, and business is pretty damn good. Ow! Okay, Sting, thank you for playing. Any thoughts on that wonderful promo, Harper or Crockett?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was my thoughts as well. All right, well, time to go to sleep because coming out of the Center Stage tunnel and entryway is the Z-Man and Marcus Bagwell, who are going to take on Buddy Lee Parker and Greg Sawyer. I can't, Crockett. I say this every week. Z-Man bores me to death, man.
Yeah, he's white meat babyface.
Yeah, for real.
And then he's got his little counterpart, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, who's kind of in the same boat. But
did you see? I posted a picture in the BTT Facebook group. By the time this airs, about a week and a half ago, and it was Z-Man, and I just said something like, "If you want to get some sleep," and then I posted a picture of Z-Man. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. That wasn't nice at all.
I don't know. Harper, did you see it?
Yeah, like he's going to, like he's a dad.
Yeah. Well, so I randomly, every now and then, I just pick an episode from like months away from where we're at, and I'll just start watching and like, okay, what's going on? I'll just pick an episode. So I picked this random episode, and I think it's the episode before Wrestle War 92 pay-per-view, which is in like May of this year. And Z-Man is up there cutting a promo, and Pillman's up there too because they're going to wrestle for the light heavyweight title at Wrestle War 92. And this dude is the most boring, bland person. You got Pillman.
Come on, you got Mike Graham in this company at this time.
Okay, Mike Graham ain't going for the light heavyweight title.
He isn't?
No, well, I'm just saying, not on a pay-per-view.
Oh.
But it's like you got Pillman who's like oozes charisma, and I gotta watch on a pay-per-view him versus Z-Man. Ugh.
Oh boy.
All right, I'll stop. Chris Zoncha gets upset with me when I make fun of Z-Man.
At least they match.
Yeah, both wearing white.
Yeah.
Black.
I guess you gotta find the
accentuate
positives,
the positive, Harper. I like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Paul Heyman. Crockett, do you have anything from this matchup between these two teams?
Not particularly. And the finish is kind of, I don't know. He like Z-Man does like a half-ass super kick into the cradle suplex from Bagwell. So, I mean, I don't know. JR ends up calling it an explosive victory, but it wasn't much.
It really wasn't. And that's Z-Man super kick will never be mistaken for a Chris Adams super kick.
Yeah.
And that one actually looked better than some of the ones we've seen on this show. He just
it looked like he
super
caught him.
kick.
Yeah, come on.
All right. Boy, y'all coming to Z-Man's defense too, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think he's the most underrated wrestler ever.
He's put together.
Yeah, he's put together. He's got a good look. He's attractive.
Tan.
He's got nice body. He's tan.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Let's give him his flowers.
Yeah.
Give him his flowers.
Let's give him his flowers, man. Come on. These guys deserve it.
Give Z-Man his flowers. Oh my God. Oh God. That's just one of those sayings I've heard way too many times in the last few weeks.
Give him his flowers.
The whole Matt Hardy saga and corny, and Matt Hardy said, "Give my friends their flowers." What, dude? It just, I mean,
like, what's that a slang for?
What do you? I can tell you what I think it means. Well, Crockett, what do you?
Like after someone, like you watch somebody in the play, and after the play is over, you give them their flowers.
I mean, that's what. I could see you said, man, give them their props, but their flowers.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, wrestlers started using that term.
Really?
Matter of fact, I heard our good friend, I don't want to embarrass him, he said that to me one day about not giving me flowers. He said something about somebody giving somebody else flowers, and I was like, what did you just say?
Is somebody who owns a certain company?
I don't want to say who, but Harper knows who I'm talking about. I don't want him to get embarrassed like Matt Hardy did on social media. But yeah. But anyway, back to it. Give Z-Man his flowers.
You have to.
Jesus.
He's earned it.
He's earned it. It's like when Harper yelled at Ryback, "Let half pint go." Oh my God. All right. Jim Ross coming out of Z-Man and Bagwell winning. Jim Ross throws to several replays of Terry Taylor breaking up Bagwell promos on Saturday night. They're supposed to battle each other at Super Brawl 2, Bagwell and Taylor, that is. Then we go to a match, Terry Taylor versus Dan Garza. Bagwell joins JR in commentary, and this Dan Garza guy's funny. I was going to ask Harper what he looks like. My main thing on the commentary was, boy, Bagwell is white meat babyface. Oh, shucks, JR. I mean, it's
Dan Garza.
Yeah, what do you think of this guy?
Like?
That's why I stopped it. Tell me.
You know that commercial that you've probably seen 1,000 times? The anti-drug commercial back in the day when a kid's in his bedroom listening to
Yep.
And then
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
Yes, you. I learned it from watching you. He looks like the dad from that commercial.
He really does. He really does.
Parents who do drugs have kids who do drugs.
And the war on drugs is still being lost.
Yeah, I found
Where did you
the
learn
link.
this?
I don't know if you can.
Where did you get this from? Where did you learn this? Where'd you get this from?
From you, Dad.
From you, right? From you, Dad. I learned it by watching you, all right?
I think he's looked at him all shocked, like, oh my God. You know I fucking light up? You can smell it?
No, it just stinks.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
like
like
weed.
Yeah.
In the house.
That's the thing. Like, if you don't smoke it,
Yeah.
you can smell it from like 2 miles away.
No, just every time I get into your fucking Buick LeSabre, it smells like Colombia.
Right. And this dude does look like that dad.
Yeah.
This is terrible. Somebody listening right now is like, oh, I thought there was a hardcore wrestling analysis. You gotta do nothing but talk stupid while they review matches. What the fuck, Harper? Y'all think you're fucking funny. You ain't fucking funny. All right. Any thoughts on this enhancement talent match, Crockett?
Well, first of all, I was a little uncomfortable that the tailor-made man came out without pants on.
Oh,
he
you're
had like
talking about because he had the jacket,
tuxedo
yeah.
top and no pants.
Yeah, it looks kind of funny when he's walking out. It does. It does.
And at 13:22, there's a gut wrench. I want to try to figure out what happened here.
All right, I'm at 13:16.
Yeah, he
This
goes for a
guy's
gut
flopping
wrench
around
power
for-
bomb. Looks like. Here it goes.
This guy's flopping around for Taylor a lot. Oh, that guy just didn't know what he was doing. Look how he shifts his body. He doesn't.
He was probably smoking a bowl before the match.
He didn't know what was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't know what to do when Taylor gut wrenches him. He kind of just is like waiting for something else to happen, not realizing, oh wait, I gotta kind of go up with this.
Down.
Yeah.
Just awkwardly drops him.
Yeah. The finish of the match, Taylor, well, he has him in a Boston Crab right now, but then he's going to hit him with the 5-arm and get the win.
No, I'm sorry, Mike. I have to correct you. On commentary, Jim Ross says he was told it's not the 5-arm. It is now called the tailor-made 4-arm. So just for your information.
That's funny because I think they keep calling it the 5-arm too, though.
I'm sure they do.
But, you know, it's WCW. It happens.
Yep.
Taylor wins, though, and that's how the match is going to end. From there, they show a replay, and then coming out of the replay of Taylor winning and hitting the, what did they call it?
Tailor-made 4-arm.
Tailor-made 4-arm. We're going to get a promo, and let's see what Terry Taylor's got to say.
I'd like to have a word with you. Seems to be a misunderstanding. I'm over here. I want to talk to you. Now, a lot of things going on here. I just want you to know that I still see a lot of a young Terrence Taylor in you, and I think you have the potential to become the next tailor-made man. More success, more money, more easy victories than you can imagine. And you might even want to see a few of these ugly girls out here, but that's up to you. So all you have to do is say you'll follow me out of here, that you do want to be the next tailor-made man, you do want to be my protege, and you sure don't need them. Say it.
I told you one time before, I'm going to tell you once again. I don't need you. I don't need to be tailor-made, but I do need these people.
Oh, Taylor with with a sucker punch on Bagwell. Bagwell comes back, and here comes Greg Valentine. That's Greg Valentine. What is Valentine doing here? What he's doing is he's decimating Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Is there an allegiance with Taylor and Valentine? I didn't think Valentine even wrestled for WCW. The Z-Man out, but the damage has been done. Taylor and Valentine hammering.
You see, you got to give Z-Man his flowers. He came out to save Bagwell from Valentine and Taylor, who jumped him. So that's something to see there. Crockett, what do you think about this?
Chair or something.
Well, he was back there sleeping, so he just jumped up as quick as he could.
Because why would the two of them, run away from one?
Especially Z-Man.
Yeah.
Like, Boogie, nothing about you says computer or technology. Yeah. Crockett, what'd you think about this? They Bagwell, it's funny watching him right here because this whole all shucks thing, when you think about,
what he became.
What he became. Yeah. He's a white meat babyface all shucks, but Taylor sneaks him. And then we get Greg the Hammer, who debuts. Any thoughts?
Well, you want to talk about Taylor Made? Check out the threads on Greg Valentine.
I know.
Oh, Jesus. Looking like $1 million bucks.
Doesn't Greg Valentine look like the wife from Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when he's running from the back. I was like, look at him.
A little less busty.
He also looks like...
Who?
Oh, go ahead, Harper. Go ahead.
Just fucking give him a can of fucking pepper spray. He's ready to go.
You know who I think he looks like, Harper?
Uh-huh.
He looks like Mama Fratelli from the Goonies as well. I mean, not the hair so much, because
the face. But
the face, he looks like, or the same one. I forgot her name and Throw Mama from the Train. That's he looks like. I always say that every time I see him.
I think the reason they ran away is that Greg just didn't want to get that lovely suit messed up. So he just wanted to get out of there.
Yeah, that's what it is. But Greg Valentine's here, so there's that. See where it goes with him and Taylor Made Man. I don't mind seeing him. I mean, he's not young, but he's also not like super old yet. But we'll see. And then we just did that pay-per-view on Patreon. What was it, Crockett? I'm drawing a blank.
Heroes of Wrestling?
Heroes of Wrestling. He was in that. So, yeah, interesting when you see him. All right, let's keep going. We move from that situation to WCW Magazine with Eric Bischoff discussing the upcoming Super Brawl 2 pay-per-view that you can, again, only hear us discuss on Patreon at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Bischoff mentions that Steamboat will have someone called the Dragon in his corner when he takes on Rick Rude at Super Brawl 2. So he's got someone, not a dragon, actually a person.
He calls it just a ninja, right?
Oh, what I said, dragon. I meant, yeah. He'll have the ninja in his corner. It's literally a dude with dressed like a ninja. Mm-hmm. Wait till you see that, Harper. Jesus Christ.
It's not
very unimpressive, dude.
Say that again, Harper.
It's not Tim Horner, is it?
No, it's not.
It could be the size of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. And
the samurai.
The samurai. Yeah, when he was a samurai.
Let's go slice up your fax machine.
Jesus Christ. Bischoff then throws to some graphics with the entire Super Brawl card. It's loaded. Loaded for the most part. It's actually a pretty good pay-per-view. I was watching some of it this weekend again, and I don't know. We'll talk about it on Patreon, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. And that's that. Did you have anything from the WCW Magazine segment?
No, not really. Just, they showed clips of Sting versus Van Vader from the Power Hour, which I thought was a pretty big match for the Saturday morning show.
Yeah, that's one thing about WCW. If you go look at some of these Power Hours and main events and different shows, you'll find things that you're like, God, that probably would have been better on Saturday night, but I ain't booking the territory.
Look at the ninja with his beer gut. And
I know.
That's why.
He's like Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit play. This is during the WCW magazine segment. Let's hear it from Steamboat and the Ninja.
Hey, well, you know something, Jim Ross? Week after week after week, everybody here has witnessed the fact that Paul E. Dangerously, along with the Dangerous Alliance, have been running in and interfering in everybody's matches, not to mention just my own. Well, Mr. Paul E. Dangerously, I've got a man that's going to be watching my backside from here on out. And this is a man in black. This is a man of the martial arts. This is a ninja.
Jesus Christ.
Wasn't it funny the way he said it? This is a ninja.
Not even the ninja. He's just a ninja.
I don't know what Steamboat was going for here. Look, far be it from us to criticize Ricky Steamboat, but that was maybe not his finest moment. The problem is I know what this ninja ends up being, so I'm like, oh boy. Anyway, that's that.
Looks like an executioner more than a ninja.
That's a good point too, because
like fucking Chopsley from Morgus.
But Chopsley's outfit was brown.
Yeah.
But I agree, he does look. Man, Crockett has no idea who Chopsley is.
Yeah. Just me or everybody listening to this as well?
No, you'd have to be from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody. It was so Morgus the Magnificent was like this crazy looking doctor.
I know that name.
You can Google it. I mean, it'll come up. He died 2 years ago. Morgus
heard the name.
Morgus the Magnificent was this crazy looking doctor, and they would do these stupid skits, but they would host like a thriller movie of the week or something on TV. At least
it was like the local creature feature guy. He was like a mad scientist, like Dr. Frankenstein.
Like, was it Svengoolie is the one that Cornette always talks about? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He was our version of that. He was like a mad scientist, and he was like supposed to be like in a warehouse district. Bro,
that's what I thought.
Real, bro. Yeah. I thought he was real.
Dude, I remember
he's in like the warehouse district. I was like, that's a real place.
Right, me too.
That's in New Orleans.
Yeah. And Chopsley was like his goon who didn't talk.
Yeah, he was like his, Igor.
Yeah, he's Igor. He had like this brown outfit on, literally like a ninja outfit. It was baggy though, but it was brown. So it was an inch. I used to watch it, dude. We
watch it every Saturday night.
Yeah, I watched it. I used to watch that shit late at night because didn't it come on at like 10:30 or something like that? Yeah, because we were home and we were kids. Like, we weren't like out. We weren't even teenagers at that point. We were just kids. Yeah, I used to watch the hell out of it.
I was playing Atari at my friend's house, and then we would watch that.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right, well, keeping the show moving and getting us back, Bischoff wraps up the WCW magazine segment, and we go to Jim Ross, who throws a video package of Vinny Vegas and Big Josh. I got to play this one once again because I loved Harper's imitation of what Vinny Vegas sounded like. Here it is.
Sir Hughes' tag team partner had an altercation with Big Josh. Here's what happened.
I don't know what you're trying to prove. What do you mean coming out here threatening me? You're going to break my arm? How you plan on doing that? What is it you don't understand, lumberhead? What do you need, an order of pancakes? What do you need? Maybe a tumbler of syrup? Or maybe another one of them tacky flannel shirts you've been wearing? Okay, big man. You want to do it now right here? Or do you want to go out here?
Well, they're beating Big Josh up. He hit him with a roll of, it looked like a roll of quarters, and they're all over the.
You've been chosen. Don't mess with Vinny Vegas. Don't mess with my people.
He called them lumberhead.
Oh,
yes, he did.
Harper, I died laughing last week when you were imitating.
Welcome back.
It's just it's. What did you call his? I know we started talking about Mr. Carter, but what did you call? What did you call it? It was like there was a name you gave his accent. You were like, it's like he's making a cartoon out of it.
Yeah, he's got that like northeastern Bugs Bunny accent.
Yeah. He's really laying it on thick. What are you doing, lumberhead?
Yeah, get off my case, toilet face.
Come on. Ooh, what the hell? I'm doing Darren as I'm trying to do it. I can't do it.
With a rubber hose. I used
Up
to
your
watch that
nose.
shit all the time.
Oh, me too.
Up your nose. Dude, they replayed that all the time on 26 and 38, Harper. Mm-hmm. the UHF stations in our area. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we keep going.
Guy. What the fuck was his name?
Mr. Woodman?
Shaq?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mr. Carter.
Screech?
Yeah, it's the original Screech.
Yeah.
That was his name?
Yeah, on a show, I think his name was called Horseshack, right?
Yeah, Arnold Horseshack, yeah.
Yeah, and he fought Screech on that celebrity boxing shit.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that used to come on Fox. And
yeah,
of course,
yeah.
I mean, Screech is like probably 20 years older than him, and he beat the shit out this poor old fucking guy that probably hasn't worked since the fucking Reagan administration.
It's like the late 90s, wasn't it, when this came on?
Yeah. I think the last thing I saw Horseshack in was he was in one of the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, Jesus.
He was in the one when they fucking dig him up to make sure he's dead, and they stick the stake in him, and the lightning hits it, and it's like the Frankenstein Jason, and that's the first movie with the zombie Jason. He's like the undead Jason, and he's like the first guy he killed.
And how old was he then? This is
Yeah,
after
that's what
Welcome
I'm
Back?
saying. Oh yeah. This was like 86, 5. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, Vinny Vegas is doing his best Dollar Tree.
What was John Travolta's character's name in that show? Oh, yeah, that was Barbarino.
Yeah.
I like when Harper imitates him. I can't do it because then I start trying to talk like Darren, and it doesn't work. But the accent, the accent is so forced, man. It's just like
I don't know how he could do that with a straight face. I would start laughing saying that dumb shit.
He's just back there. The thing is, when I hear these guys speak in accents that aren't natural to them, I envision them in the car, on the road, practicing it. At home or in the back, practicing it. So, like, we hear this one little clip, but it's like, he practiced that, man. He was in the car cutting promos in that voice. Like, he was, he did that more than what you saw. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll keep going. We go to Mr. Hughes versus Big Josh. And, it ties into, Hughes and Nash freaking Vinny Vegas are supposed to be on the same side. So Mr. Hughes is wrestling Big Josh. Did you have anything from this, Crockett?
No, not much. Just how, amazing Mr. Hughes is at this time, just as a bumping big man. And he's just fantastic.
This dude, I continue to say it, he's underrated. Like in WCW during this time period, he bumps so good and he moves so good. It's just fluid and natural, man. It's just incredible. The match, Big Josh hits Hughes with 2 double axe handles. Race hands Hughes a roll of quarters. Hughes is then going to hit Josh with the roll of quarters and he pins him. However, Ron Simmons comes down to the ring and tells the ref what happened. And then Hughes hits Simmons. Josh then hits Mr. Hughes with his lumberjack axe handle, and Hughes is now being pinned, and Simmons counts the pin. Actually, I don't know who won. It was a lot of shenanigans. Hughes technically, I guess, won. I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
Nick Patrick
Hughes is officially announced the winner.
Yeah.
You think anyone's really been hit with a roll of fucking quarters, or is that just like a wrestling thing?
I wasn't Dynamite Kid hit with the roll of quarters from Jacques Rougeau? Was that like a famous story?
Say, bro.
Yeah, that was the story. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's possible.
And the whole purpose, it makes your fist tighter. That's why it's supposed to hurt more.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Yeah, I guess because your fist isn't kind of flexing inward because you got the quarters in it. I don't know. I feel like if you just took the quarters and
I could see that.
I feel like if you put the quarters in the palm of your hand and you slap the fuck out of somebody, that would hurt even more. I mean, it's like a big metal rod if it's wrapped in, you know what I mean? Like if you just took a roll of quarters and it was, let's say it was just taped to the palm of your hand and you slap somebody with that. Bro, that would knock them stupid.
Yeah, I think they like it in wrestling because, the quarters go flying out all over the place.
Yeah,
it's the visual.
It doesn't really make sense when you do that, and then the referee has to go down and count in a sea of quarters. But
he's like, hey, they got $5 in quarters here.
Okay, so Crockett.
The fans must really love this match. Just started throwing change in the ring.
Crockett, you were a ref. Tell us how many times you you saw quarters laying in the ring.
I remember one occasion. I think it happened once.
Not too many then.
No.
You're right. It looks good. The problem is powder looks good, but it kind of dissipates. So if the ref is turned away, he may not see the powder. Whereas with a roll of quarters, logically, you hit somebody with the quarters, and like you said, it just scatters all over the ring, and you're a ref, and you go down a count. It's not really natural. You see all these quarters, like Harper said, oh, wait, there's $5 worth of quarters laying in front of me. I wonder where that came from. Just appeared out of thin air. Some guy shouted out their ass. What's going on here? Yeah, that's true. All right, the next match, Brian Pillman versus John Peterson. About a 5-minute match. Pillman's going to hit Air Pillman, springboard Lariat off the top, and he wins by pin. Crockett, did you have anything from this one?
No, just that, this guy's going for the light heavyweight title, right? Why isn't he in there with, a smaller guy that can actually move around? I mean, this guy's not bad, this Peterson guy, but he's just like a pasty, slow, soft guy. Why can't they find someone who can kind of match up with, if he's going for the light heavyweight title? Shouldn't there be, a little more fast-paced match here?
Yeah. Yeah, it does need to be. They needed Buku Dao in there with him, Harper. He's small enough, but no. I guess it's fine. The whole idea of getting Pillman to win, but WCW does what they're gonna do. All right, from there, Jim Ross throws to a big video package featuring Sting. They throw to all of the happenings of Sting from 1990, including when Sting was kicked out of the Horsemen, Sting blowing out his knee. Did you do that clash with me, Crockett?
I think so. Yeah, the one where Sting got hurt at the end here. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the one where Cactus Jack takes the bump off the apron and just.
Yep. The nasty plunge there. Yeah. Yeah,
the nasty plunge and gets over in doing so. And then they show various. Yeah, with Mil Mascaras, No Yob. They show all kind of clips of Sting. And I get it. The whole build up here for Sting is, Sting's gonna be going for the world title, so we gotta build him up and pump him up. So a bunch of series of replays. Then we go to Johnny. Then
before you get there, Mike, one thing, he's closing out the segment, Jim Ross says that they're doing this promotion for the movie Gladiator, and he says, "You and 100 friends can win a private screening." And I said, who has 100 friends?
That's a good point.
I mean, this is before social media. You can get 100 friends of yours into a private screening of Gladiator.
Yeah, even
at the Dallas show.
I don't think I ever saw it.
No,
I don't think so.
It's that boxing movie. with
Yeah, I don't
Cuban
think-
Good Jr.
Is
You
that
know
the
what?
one?
I think that's not it.
Why was I thinking? Isn't the Russell Crowe thing? Isn't that?
That's what I was
this
thinking of.
Before that, this was before Gladiator. At this time, there was a boxing movie called Gladiator, where Cuban Gooding Jr. is in it, and the dad from Tommy Boy, where they're in this, like the inner city, like the tough area of town, and this guy takes these young teenage boxers and he trains them, and he basically uses them as like gladiators, just to make money off of them.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I did.
The Russell Crowe version didn't come out till 2000. So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I did see that Harper. I couldn't tell you a lot about it, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah. That's a movie that you never see streaming or coming on TV somewhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
You never see it. Huh. All right. Well, yeah, 100 friends. Dude, I couldn't pick 100 people from a Facebook friend list.
Well, they probably get you the fucking sneak preview passes. I don't even think they have those anymore. Remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
remember that.
I don't know if they do, because nowadays you can actually like go see a movie like I don't know if they still do this. They used to when I you go see the movie midnight the
On
day
fucking
before.
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday,
Friday morning at fucking midnight.
Right. And they act like that's the early when it's really not. It's because it's coming out the night of or the morning of, technically, if you really want to be technical. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, dude, I don't go to the movies no more. Like, I wait to catch that shit on cable.
I saw.
Just me.
So what's the last movie I saw? Oh, the Transformers.
I can't hold my piss that long, bro. I'm old.
Yeah,
My bladder.
Yeah, bro. It gets like that now because these movies aren't an hour and a half anymore.
No,
I watched
yeah.
that 64 that came out in like March or May. It was with the guy from Star Wars that like looks like he works at Hot Topic. He's like the shitty Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It's he's from some other planet and they crashed on Earth 64 million years ago, and he got to deal with the dinosaurs, and he's trying to get off of Earth on the escape pod, and it was fucking bad.
And you had to piss. I can't sit in these 3-hour movies, man. I just can't do it.
Yeah, you can't find a movie under 2.5 hours these days.
Dude, it's rough.
Yeah. And so that's when it was bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of bad, Johnny B. Bad's in the ring, and he's taking on Mark Kyle, old Killer Kyle, Smoky Mountain Wrestling fame. Johnny B. Bad finishes Kyle off. First, he does a sunset flip off the top rope for the win, and I could have swore Pee Wee counted that. And Kyle gets up and starts throwing haymakers at Bad, but Bad fights back, and Bad hits Kyle with a left hook and pins him again. So 1, 2, 3. I don't know if there was miscommunication on the actual finish or what the hell was going on here. Then Johnny B. Bad puts a big lip sticker on Killer Kyle's cheek. It was really odd. He pinned him twice. Any thoughts, Crockett?
Yeah, it was odd. Like, he does a sunset flip off the top, and like Kyle is like shaking and kicking and trying to get loose, but like Bad's not even holding him down. He's like his legs aren't over his arms. So he's like what is holding him down? What is keeping him from kicking out?
Because he's wiggling his legs too.
A little awkward.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, he wins twice, I guess you could say it, and shoots his cannon off in the air. And there was that. All right, we'll keep moving. So then we go to Jim Ross, who throws to Dusty Rhodes, giving his analysis of Super Brawl 2. The biggest mistake they made here with this, and I wasn't going to play it, this would have been so much better if he did it live. He's just doing it in front of the camera, green screen type thing, and trying to talk to people into the building, and oh man, well, it's not a green screen, it's just a blue background. Anyway, I didn't have anything from this, Crockett, because it could have been so much better if it was live. What did you think?
No, yeah, it was pretty canned. Like, in hard times, it was not. It was, he just kind of like trying to pump it up and gives his prediction of Sting, I guess. But yeah, there really was. I didn't think about that, but I definitely agree. If he had done this in front of the people, it would have been a much better scenario.
10 times better for sure.
Yeah.
Then we go to Rick Rude versus Chris Sullivan. Rude tells the Music Man cut the music, and he calls the people cellulite-infested sweat hogs, because that's what he does. At the 48-49 mark, they show a shot of some what I think is underage lovely ladies. Nah, take it back. They're of age.
Yeah, those aren't underage. Yeah, gotta look
the
at
one
that
on
guy's
the
bald spot.
He's got a bald spot in the front.
and he's staring at the one to his right.
Oh yeah, come here, you Tanya Tucker looking broad.
Dude, Harper's got us snorting over here laughing. Look at that guy's bald head. What the piss is going on? It's like he's got the mange, bruh.
Yeah.
Look at it. He's fucking Home Alone with his hair caught on fire.
He's got the bangs in front, and then it's bald.
Dude, that's incredible. And he's staring like, yeah, I want to get a piece of that. Dude, they ain't going nowhere near you and that mange on your head.
The fuck?
That dude's got the mange. It's awesome. Oh, man. Okay. I guess we got a match going on here. Anyway, so we find out during this match that Kip Fry has barred Paul Lee from ringside at Super Brawl 2. So supposedly there's going to be no Paul Lee at ringside at Super Brawl 2. I did have a note because I wanted to show Harper. What do you think about this woman with the Fabulous Freebirds t-shirt?
Wait, is that a woman? I probably shouldn't say.
It looks like a woman to me. She looks older, but she
that's
maybe
a
she's
woman.
That's a woman. That's a woman.
Ma'am.
You call me ma'am, sir.
Yeah,
all right.
That's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we keep moving. That's a cool shirt. All right. Rick Rude is going to win this thing. Rude Awakening for the win. Did you have anything else, Crockett?
This guy gives him a big bump right at the beginning here, like really big for a job guy against a star, especially he's a U.S. champion.
Yeah,
coming up right here. I think he just gives him a back suplex and just kind of folds him up. I was like, oh, that's kind of something you don't really see out of a job guy. Yeah.
And Rude sells it too. It's not like he got up and no sold it. And
but the tide turns pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Boom.
Right there.
Yeah.
Don't you used to love it when the jobbers would get something in?
Yeah. Usually it's no more than like a drop kick or a couple punches, but I mean that was pretty big for just an enhancement guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to. That was the formula for me. Well, that was the formula that at least I used to think they would do. The jobber would get in like a punch or some kind of hip toss, something minor.
Yeah.
And then the over talent would just take over and destroy him. But I always thought that was something like, it's like, oh, got to move in. I can remember Gorilla Monsoon's like, oh, look, he got to move in. And then, it quickly turned around.
Yeah.
Quickly, very quickly. So, yeah. All right, Rick Rude wins. And on that note, then we're going to go to Paul Lee and Rick Rude. Hold on, let me get to it. Here it is. He falls asleep on him after a Rude Awakening. I love when he does that. All right, here we go.
Well, Paul, before we talk to the United States Heavyweight Champion, I'm sure that you have some comments regarding your banishment from ringside at Super Brawl during the United States Heavyweight Championship matchup. What are your thoughts about this?
It never ceases to amaze me the lengths that WCW will go to railroad Paulie dangerously. They have fined me. They have suspended me. They have gone to the end of the earth to find an excuse to fire me. And the reason this time that they have banished me from ringside is to enhance Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's chances of winning the United States Heavyweight Championship at Super Brawl 2. But you see, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, this banishment is going to do you a whole lot worse than good, my man. Because what this has forced me to do is to become obsessed with your demise. And for the next 14 days, Ricky Steamboat, I'm going to be thinking of a new way to mess your entire life up. And if you think there's a level I won't stoop to, if you think there's a depth that Rick Rude and I won't sink to, if you think there is anything too vulgar, too disgusting for us to do to ruin your life, I assure you of one thing, my man, at Super Brawl 2, you are in for a rude awakening.
Super Brawl 2. Paulie dangerously out of sight, but not out of mind. Ravishing Rick Rude, Paulie, and the Dangerous Alliance will lurk forever in the shadows of Ricky Steamboat's mind. Each and every time the Dragon was assaulted by ravishing Rick Rude, a scar tissue was left on his memory. So now, as the world views Ricky Steamboat, a physically strong athlete, the Dangerous Alliance knows Ricky Steamboat has been mentally impaired. You see, Steamboat's fantasy will have him believe that Paulie being banned from ringside will solve all his problems. But when the reality of Super Brawl sets in, Ricky Steamboat, what you are about to find out is your problems have only just begun. See ya! All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a matchup.
And Rick Rubin cut a promo, and Paul Lee's pissed off that he's not supposed to be at ringside. Crockett, what did you have from this?
Yeah, it was an excellent promo. You know, Paul Lee got his point across, got his angle across, and Rick Rude just hit it home. It was perfect.
Your problems have just begun.
That's out of sight, but not out of mind. Yeah, I like that.
Any thoughts? Any thoughts, Harper?
Forgot. I want to see this match. I bet it's gonna be good.
Yeah, like I said, it's pretty good pay-per-view, and yeah, we'll break it all down. I think we're planning on doing it. So 2 weeks from today is like, I don't know, whatever date it is, but we were gonna do it. So we're gonna record the regular show on Tuesday night, and then the pay-per-view on Wednesday. Or we were thinking about doing them on the same night because the show that leads into the pay-per-view. Well, hold on. The show that leads into the pay-per-view, it's basically just a lead-in show. So it's Jesse and Jim Ross like pumping up the pay-per-view, and they show a bunch of replays. It's like, I mean, we can do that
live?
show in like, no. It's just a lead-in to the pay-per-view. Like when you look at it, and it's I think it's only like an hour. So you really, I feel like we could do that episode and knock it out in 30 minutes, and then just do the pay-per-view in the same night if we really wanted to. But again, when you put eyes on that episode, Crockett, you let me know.
All right. I don't know if you guys are capable of 30-minute episodes, but
oh, we could if we were doing a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I remember one time Doc and I did a Saturday night, and then we did a pay-per-view. And I was like, dude, you sure you want to do that? I'm like, man, we're gonna be tied up for a long time. This was like, no, we'll do it. Boy, he came out of the room after he was recording. His wife lit him up man, we had to be going for like 3 hours and 45 minutes. I was like, bro, we ain't doing this no more.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
That's almost half a work day. Y'all
right
there doing that shit, you fucking idiots.
I was like, Doc, are you sure? Yeah. And boy, LaFonda lit him a new asshole. It's pretty bad. All right, we go to Dustin Rhodes versus Bob Cook. Dustin's going to win quickly. He hits Cook with the Bulldog, and Dustin wins by pin. Anything from this, Crockett?
Bob Cook's fantastic, huh?
He flies around.
He's pretty damn good. He's got great punches.
I think we talked about him, too, before.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just some schlub.
Bumps very well. Yeah, I really liked him. Yeah, I mean, It's good, solid match, and the right guy won, I guess.
Yeah, that's Doc's line. Right guy won. Yeah, good stuff. All right, then this next one I'm dying to talk to Harper about, because every time I see something like this, I'm just like, man, this is just a disaster waiting to happen. The Young Pistols, Tracy Smothers and Steve Armstrong, are taking on this. Are taking on the Steiners. Scott Steiner comes to the ring with Arnold the Pit Bull. The dog chases the Pistols out of the ring as the Steiners make their way to the ring.
Fuck.
And every time I see this, I think of Harper. When we talked about this during Smoky Mountain, I think it was. Bruh, the thing is, bruh, I love dogs. I really love dogs. I'm a dog lover. But this dog doesn't realize this is a work. So, so while Scott is telling Arnold, the pit bull, to go after the Smothers and Armstrong, like, Scott knows it's a work, but the dog thinks it's a shoot. and this just never, every time I see this, I'm like, man, I don't know if I could be Steve Armstrong and Tracy Smothers. You know what I'm saying, Harper?
Oh, yeah. Get that damn pit bull coming at you, bro. You crazy.
Right. The dog doesn't understand that this is a work, man.
What I was thinking is, what did they do to this dog before he went out there? Because this dog is amped up.
Yeah.
That's true too. Like, yeah.
Slap him around. What happened? Because I don't know. He's on fire.
That's what I'm saying. This dog is like lit, dude. And Tracy's crazy. Tracy's getting in the ring. And look at this, dude. That dog. Look.
Damn,
that
bro.
Dog was 6 inches from getting a bite out of Tracy Smothers' ass.
Yeah, you hear those stories about, what in the WWF, especially what they did to these, feeding Damien drugs or whatever the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
So, what did they put in this guys? What did we put in the Arnold's kibble before they came out here?
Some gunpowder.
Maybe.
Bruh, I'm just saying, like, I once again, in Hardbody Harper's own words, the dog doesn't understand that this is a work.
Yeah.
This dog thinks this is real. Like, and dude, that dog was 6 inches from getting Tracy Smothers when Smothers ran up the aisle and got out of the ring. So that's all I'm saying, man. Anyway, they finally get to the match. And by this point, I was like, I was still thinking about the dog. By the way, you're talking about the dog stories. Jake Roberts has a terrible story from Matilda that he told on Piper's podcast. I've told this story on the show before. I even think I played it once.
With the hot dogs?
Yeah, they gave the hot dog. They gave Matilda like chili dogs and hot dogs, and and the dog just sprayed the freaking hotel room full of shit and diarrhea. And Jake says he could hear them coming back to the room that night, and they were drunk. He's like, Davey Boy walks in the room. Oh, what the fuck, man? The fucking dog shit all over the place. But they would do mean shit to Damien the Snake. They would throw like hot cigarette butts in the bag and
come on.
Yeah, man. So they abused the Snake, so he abused the dog. That's messed up, bro. Okay, any thoughts on the Pistols and Steiners don't go long here. Any thoughts on the match?
Tracy's fantastic with his goofy Tracy shit, like the dancing and all that stuff. He's awesome. I like the lead into the hot tag. The Pistols try to give Rick Steiner a double clothesline. He ducks. They come back. You figure Rick's going to come back and hit the double Steiner line, but they duck that. So Rick comes off again, and they're kind of like still like, yeah, we ducked his double close. They clotheslines him in the back of the head. So I like the little misdirection there. Here it is right here. Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. That's why I went to it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, gets from behind. So yeah, that was nice leading into the hot tag. But yeah, it was pretty good. Short, like you said, but yeah, I got the job done.
I don't know how to describe Tracy's comedy dancing. I mean, he's not trying to be funny, but I guess he is. The thing when he puts his hands kind of in the air and he just starts shaking, it's like, what the shit?
Look at this! Look at this powerbomb. He lands basically on his knees.
On his knees, yeah. Steve Armstrong, and then here comes a tilt-a-whirl. Steiner's so damn strong, man.
Yeah,
it's unreal. Here's a top rope bulldog 1, 2, 3, and they win. Yeah. Steiner Brothers, that is.
I ain't even been to Wyoming.
I ain't even been to Wyoming. I'm sure they're nice people. And yeah, Steiner's win the match. Let's keep moving. So then from there we go to the main event of the show, which is Larry Zbyszko and Arn Anderson versus Ricky Steamboat with the Ninja and Barry Windham. I'm probably said this before on this show a million times. I hate when they do this in wrestling. Arn is tagging with Larry. Now, I know they're in the same faction, but Arn is one half of the world tag champions with Bobby Eaton. So I just feel like Arn needs to tag with his tag team partner that he's champions with. And so that was my biggest gripe just going into this, you know. Yeah, that's all I had to say. Crockett, what do you think about this?
It's mind games. They don't want to give them the tag team champions, so it's just going to be they'll give you one of the champions, but not both of them. They're toying with Ricky Steamboat and Barry Windham.
And the Ninja's out there looking funny.
Just oh my god.
Yeah, okay.
Just a guy.
I mean, this is worse than Tim Horner as the Ninja, man. It's his
the Ninja.
And then Steamboat trying to put him over was hilarious in that promo.
What'd he do? Nothing?
You're looking at it.
He does chase Paulie off at the end.
Yeah. I guess that's something. But
yeah, Paulie tries to interfere and the Ninja kind of chases him off.
Any note? I don't really have much from this. They kind of, you know, the heels do their thing, the faces do their thing, the heels bump for Steamboat. I mean, it's fine, but we all like your champions are not in there. That's my biggest gripe. So,
right.
This is kind of unique in that like the shine for the baby faces was like 7 minutes long. Like the like they were on top.
The whole
like,
match
the first
almost.
7 minutes of the match. And then like the last 2 or 3 minutes where the heels finally took over.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess that's fine. Like, because again, I mean, the baby faces should be, I don't know. You can book it all kind of ways, but it's fine. The crowd was into it. It's just one of those things where it's like, this man just won the titles with somebody else. Why is he tagging with Larry? I get that they're in the same faction, but I'm going to stop repeating myself. There is a hot tag to Steamboat. Steamboat has all of them bumping. On the outside, this is what Crockett was talking about a second ago. The Ninja starts chasing Paulie around the ring, which is kind of funny once you see it. I forget at what point it happens, but it does happen. I'm like, oh, this is great. Steamboat is going to hit Larry Zbyszko with his finisher, but the bell rings before the count, and then the rest of the Dangerous Alliance comes out to jump Steamboat and Windham. Sting and Dustin hit the ring at the end, and the shit is hitting the fan as we go off air. Here's the Ninja. I guess you could call it running.
See what happens here. I think Paulie has the phone. I didn't know that at first. I couldn't tell that he had the phone in his hand. So they ring the bell when you know Arn makes the save for the pin, and I was confused. Jim Ross was confused, and they went off the air with everybody still confused because they never really had an announcement because they did the whole "we're out of time" that whole shit. But yeah, they see he covers them, and then Arn Paulie left his phone behind when this whole thing happened, and so Arn has the phone in his hand here, and that's why the ref calls for the bell.
I missed that too until you said it.
See, pay attention, Mike.
No, and I watched it 100 times. Well, I saw him with the phone right there, but not at first. Like
yeah,
when
I
he
was
first
confused.
hits
I
him.
had to go back and watch it again. It's like, what? Why did he disqualify him for just making the save? But yeah, he had the fall.
Yeah, and like you said, the crap's hitting the fan as we go off air, and that's how this episode is going to end. So I guess Arn and Larry Zbyszko get DQ'd. Again, here's the thing: if it's Eaton and Arn, they could have got DQ'd in the same way. It wasn't like Larry Zbyszko was taking a pin here. I don't know. I'll stop. That's how we go off air. We need to rate it, hand out some Rolexes. I'm sorry, Toot Toot Awards. Before we do so, remember, the only way you can listen to the Super Brawl 2 pay-per-view review is by going to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. That's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. A great way to not only support the show, but get tons of extra content. Over 400 plus Patreon exclusive shows are there to listen to or watch, because all the video versions are there as well that we do here. Let's give out a rating first. Crockett, I went first last week because it was your first time back in a while. What are you going to rate this thing?
I mean, nothing really jumps out at you. So I mean, I guess it's a pretty average show. So I guess I'll say C+.
Steamboat didn't jump out at you cutting that promo for the Ninja?
Ninja.
What about Vinny Vegas?
Ninja. But
A
yeah,
ninja.
no, jumped out at me in the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm with you. Boy, this is tough. I'll go C+, B-, in between there.
Nice.
What are you going to get, Harper?
I give it a C. It was an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I got to give my Toot Toot Award to Rick Rude. I think his promo, along with Paul Lee, was the best thing on the show. There was some entertaining stuff, as we talked about, though. I mean, the goddamn dog, Arnold the dog, and chasing Tracy Smothers. I watched that tons of times just thinking about that. That is just insane. But Crockett, who are you going to give your Toot Toot Award to?
Yeah, it was Rude and Paul Lee for me.
Yeah.
Same for you, Harper?
Yeah, that was a good promo.
It was. And that's how we wrap this week's episode up. Crockett, got to thank you again for doing the show and hanging with us late as your lights went out this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Crockett will be back next week. I have not gotten the A-OK from Doc.
Damn.
With his youth sports and everything he's got going on. It's a shit show, but that's what BTT can be a lot of times, a shit show, as we keep this thing going. And we're in the 8th year of shows every week without missing one, unlike the WPAN. Oh, I'm sorry, Crockett, on an extended hiatus. Hey, any new news on the next show with you and Malonis?
I think we're about the same place, especially now you got me booked weeks out here. Who knows when the hell that's going to happen?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's hard when you're getting booked and you're on one of the greatest. I'm sorry, you're on the greatest Outlaw Mud Show podcast on the planet. It's really hard to. You can't do your own shit, right? When that happens.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd rather be here.
Yeah, I of course you do. I mean, this is the bigger audience.
Right.
I'm still mad at you for telling Lee O'Connor that your favorite moment of WPAN was interviewing Warbeard Hansen. You act like he's a big WWE star now or something. I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah, he is. And, you're always number one in my heart.
Yeah, lies. All right, well, I guess we're going to get out of here. On that note, Harper, you got anything, or you want to hit the tagline, the Relieve It tagline?
Oh, that's nice. Let's go.
Are you going to relieve it or not?
Relieve it, bitch.